Hi guys, and welcome to another TeckWrap tutorial. In this tutorial, I'm going to teach you how to make wine glass charms. They're going to be looking so cute. We're going to be using TeckWrap's Christmas pack, which is this right here. These colors are gorgeous. No matter how I explain to you, seeing them in reality in front of you, they are gorgeous. We will only be needing these vinyls and some acetate to put the vinyl on, along with some tools to work with weeding the vinyl and some transfer tape. My name is Noura from Simple Things by Noura Creates, and let's start. Let's start by clicking on the Shapes button and choose a circle. So I've measured my wine glass and the bottom of it is 3 inches. So I'm going to make this around 2.8 because I don't want it to cover the full glass at the bottom. I want a little bit of the rim from the glass to show. I've also measured the inside of the stem, the size of the stem of the glass. So that was around, let's grab another circle. For my glass, that was around 0.8 inches. So let's center this, click on Align and Center. And now we are going to click on Slice. Select both and then click on Slice. This way we make a hole in the middle, and that's what we want for our shape. So later on we're going to put a slit here. We can cut that manually with a scissor, or we can cut it on our Cricut. Okay, so this is the main shape we're working with. Now let's grab the text tool and let's write a name. I'm going to write Noura, which is my name. Let's choose a cute font. Let's go ahead and choose this font. It's called BFC Grow Over. Okay, let's just shrink this a tiny bit so it can somehow fit here. Let's just change the color so we can see what we're doing. Okay, so now I want to curve this one, this name, with the shape of the circle. So go to the curve tool and go with a negative number. So I think this is about enough. Now I don't want it to be so spaced out between the letters. So what we're going to do is go to letter space and just decrease that number until you feel it's okay. I think the N and the O are too close. Okay, there we go. Now let's put this aside. And let's go to the images section and search for ornament. Okay, so I want something rather simple. I think this looks good. Let's just add to canvas. And let me ungroup that because I want to change the colors. I want this to be silver and this to be red. Okay, now let's just shrink that to almost the same size of our first circle. I think that's about okay. And now let's create the same inner circle that we did before, which was, for me, it was 0.8 inches. And I'm going to center it with the red circle and slice. Okay, let's delete the middle piece. Let's keep this because we'll use it for another one. Now for this piece, let's create a offset. I want it rather tiny. I think let's go a bit smaller than that. Let's try 80. I think that's okay. Click apply. But I want the hole inside to be the exact same size of this. So I'm going to choose the offset. Let me just remove these pieces. And now I'm going to return the first circle and choose the offset layer. Let me center those and slice. Okay, so what we did now is this layer is going to be cut out of acetate. So I'm going to color that in white. And this layer is going to be cut out of vinyl that I'm going to stick on top of the acetate. Okay, so it's going to look something like this. All right, let's duplicate this one and just change the color and make a second green one. Let's go with a darker green. That looks about good. All right, so let's make also an acetate layer for this one. So I think this one will be gold. Let's just try. And let me decrease the size of this a tiny bit because I want the vinyl parts to be slightly smaller than the acetate we're sticking them on. Okay, that is about right. And color this white, delete the extra piece. All right, so if you want to cut the slit with your Cricut, what you're going to do is, let me just organize them this way. Let us remove our acetate pieces to the right. Okay, so what you're gonna want to do is go to the shapes menu, click on the line, and right now it's set to score under operation. What you're gonna want to do is click on it and click on basic. This way it becomes a cut. So just copy and duplicate that a few times because you're gonna need it for all of your pieces. But I'm just going to show you with one of them. So what you're going to do is center it. Select both your line and your circle and then center horizontal. And you're going to want to attach that so that when you're cutting, it cuts exactly in this place. If you don't attach, these lines are going to be in different places in your mats. And there we go. So let's go and cut our pieces and then we'll assemble them together. So I want to show you a small trick with TeckWrap's vinyl. Some of their vinyls have a protective sheet on top of their adhesive vinyl. So what I like to do is I take a piece of Scotch tape and I stick it at a corner, and when I pull up, it pulls up the protective sheet with it. So always remember to remove the protective sheet because this will affect your cut settings and it's not going to cut properly. Another thing I want to share with you is that when I'm cutting several pieces, and if they're just small, nothing complicated, I like to use my whole mat for the whole project. So what I mean is if I'm cutting several colors, instead of me loading and unloading this mat 4 times, I do it all in one mat. However, be aware that if your material settings are different, the cuts will not all cut the same. So just keep that in mind if you're using this method. Sometimes I will just test the cut before I unload the mat, and if it didn't cut, load it back in. All right, so we got everything we need right here. Don't forget your weeding pen. That is an important part of weeding vinyl. So let's start weeding. It's fairly simple. Now, if you remember the slits that we did in Design Space, so the reason I did not do them because I find it easier once I line up the vinyl on my acetate, then I will just take my scissors and cut right through so that you can thread it through the stem of your wine glass. So let's just continue weeding. Now, I did clean my acetate before we cut it, but I feel like I need to give it another clean, so I use the glass cleaner to clean acetate. So let's just give it a quick spray. just line them all up. Okay, flip them over. This just ensures that your vinyl adheres properly and you don't have any fingerprints on your acetate. All right. Okay, so let's start placing our ornaments on our acetate. Let's just take the transfer tape. So I'm going to be using a parchment paper so that I can align things properly. So first you go onto your vinyl, burnish it a bit, and remove. Okay, now what you do is you get your parchment paper, you just reveal a tiny bit of your design, and this way you can still move your design around the piece that you are going to stick it on. Once you have the perfect position, stick the area which was revealed, flip it over, and slowly remove your parchment paper and stick it down. Okay, and then let's remove. All right, if you have any bubbles, slowly push them out, or you can even just poke it and give it a scrape. Okay, now let's do the top piece. Same way. There we go. And remove. And here's our first one. Okay, let me continue laying all our designs. There we go. So what I'm going to do now is transfer the names and then we will cut the slits. All right, so be mindful of where you want to cut your slits. So I want my name to be exactly opposite the ornament metal piece, so I'm going to cut the slit somewhere around here. So I'm going to place the name right over here. So I'm not going to transfer all the names, I just wanted to show you guys. You can keep some of them plain, But usually the purpose of these is to identify each and every glass and who it belongs to, but it can also just be for decoration and fun. Okay, so let's just transfer this name. Look at how delicate these lines are. The vinyl cuts like butter. There we go. All right, so now let's create those slits. I'm going to cut right here. Let's grab our glass. This is how it's going to look like. I think they look so cute. These can be done in different shapes. You can make stars, snowmen, anything you want to design. You can also hang little beads. You can stick beads on or pearls, up to you how you can and want to decorate it. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I'll see you on the next one.